What's up, guys? Retro Gamer Steve back with another video. Tonight is going to be a response video to my good friend Matt from the channel ChillScissors. And basically he posed a question to this YouTube community. What got us into video game collecting and what currently drives us to continue collecting? So I've basically always been a collector of sorts. I didn't have huge collections of stuff when I was a kid as much. I mean, I did have a lot of Star Wars figures when I was young, being that I was the only child in the family for 5 years. My aunts, uncles, my grandparents, and my parents all basically spoiled me. And when I was a small child, Star Wars was my life. So I had basically just about every figure and toy they ever made for Star Wars. So that kind of is basically where my love for collecting began. But my love for video games also stems from that same age where I remember playing the Atari 2600 with my dad. One of my favorite video game memories is being about 6 or 7 years old and just sitting in the apartment that we lived in at the time and playing River Raid for the Atari 2600, which is my all-time favorite Atari game. Absolutely love River Raid. One of my favorite games of all time, honestly, even though it's a 2600 game. But just those memories of sitting in the living room with blinds and windows open and the sun just soaking in the living room and playing my Atari 2600 and my dad playing with me. So I played the 2600 all the way up until the Nintendo came out. I did get a Nintendo. I was one of the last kids that I knew to get one, unfortunately, because we already had a game system. So one thing that my parents were always adamant about when I was a kid was they weren't going to spend money for a new game system when I still had a perfectly working old system. They didn't really understand a lot of that then, and as a kid you don't really understand that it's a lot of money for a game system. So there was a lot of systems that I always wanted as a kid growing up, which I'm sure has happened to a bunch of us because, you know, not everyone's lucky enough to have parents that can afford every system that comes out. It seems like every 6 months to a year. So I've always been a gamer and I've always been a collector at heart. I did have a Star Wars collection up until about 6 years ago, where over the course of 3 years I had collected and amassed basically every original toy from the original Star Wars trilogy. Every figure, ship, playset, everything. Now, not every playset or ship would have been complete necessarily, but I had all of the plastic pieces that I needed for a complete set. I sold that when I went through a divorce. So for about a year and a half, I didn't really collect anything. And then I was in a shop and I saw a Nintendo Game Boy and a couple of games, Tetris and something else. So I thought, how awesome is that? So I bought the Game Boy and then went to a bachelor party and took my Game Boy with me. This was a 3-day bachelor party at a beach. So there was definitely going to be some downtime. And so I brought the Game Boy. Didn't really play it much, but I did pull it out and show it to a few of the guys that were there. And they were like, oh my God, that's so awesome. Where did you get that? That really got me into thinking, you know, I would love to be able to go back and purchase some of my favorite game systems that I had growing up and some of the games that I really enjoyed playing. So that's what I began doing. But once I started collecting the Game Boy, the Nintendo, the Sega Genesis, and a lot of the games that I had when I was younger, it really made me want to start collecting the systems that I was never able to get, either due to financial reasons or whatever. basically like the Neo Geo AES system. When that came out, that was $650, which back in those days was like $1,500 to $2,000. And I remember telling my parents that that's what I wanted for Christmas that year. And my father's answer to me when he found out how much that system cost, he had a very colorful response to tell me that was basically no. Um, so some of those systems like the Jaguar and the Neo Geo that I was never able to get, and then some systems that I didn't even know came out. Um, then like you've got systems like the TurboGrafx 16 that I never had. I never knew anybody when I was growing up that had one. I never knew anybody with a Jaguar. I never knew anybody with a Neo Geo. Never knew anybody with a Neo Geo Pocket. So there's just so many systems that I'd always heard about, but I never saw them in person, never got to actually play one or experience the console or the library of games. So my collection went from collecting what I used to have to now collecting what I always wanted as well. So my collection has expanded from 5 or 6 consoles to I forgot how many different platforms I've got, like around 40 different platforms. I think I got like 88 or 90 consoles or something like that now, which is kind of crazy. In a year and a half that I've been collecting video games. But my driving force now to continue is my girlfriend is a big gamer as well. Not as hardcore as I am, but she loves playing games. So whenever we get to spend time together, a good portion of that is usually gaming or talking about collecting games or her just listening to me talk about games, which I do a lot of. But because that's something that we enjoy together, that drives me to continue to collect even more. When I see things that I know she would enjoy, I want to collect that and get that. My awesome YouTube community of friends here, War Train Wins and Contagious Collection, Fit to Play Games, Kamikaze Ikun, ChillScissors, Iowa Retro Gamer Dad, Transformers and Video Games, Pac-Man Case, Ms. Croft. I mean, there's just a ton of you guys out there that are amazing and awesome, genuinely fantastic people that I've become friends with. And so part of me wants to continue pushing because I want to continue to put out content that you guys enjoy. I not only enjoy sharing my hobby with my girlfriend, but I also enjoy sharing my hobby with my YouTube friends and any of you guys that do watch my videos. And that's basically my driving force now as to why I keep pushing and buying more stuff is I love gaming. I am a gamer. I've always been a gamer, not always a collector of games, but now I'm a collector and a gamer. Sometimes I find myself more on the collecting end of it than the gaming end, but that's okay. Life has a way of getting you busy sometimes where you can't really game as much, but I also don't sell things out of my collection. So I know that when I do have some downtime, everything that I want to play will be there waiting for me. And so I just enjoy the gaming aspect of it. I enjoy the collecting aspect of it. I also consider a lot of this stuff to be art in a way. The box art on some of these games, especially some of the older games, is just amazing artwork. The colors, the pictures, just the way it brings the game to life. I mean, I remember being a kid choosing what game I wanted to play just based off of the cover art being awesome. And half the time, the game was complete crap. But that was the artist's job, was to sell you that game based off of whatever cool illustration they put on the front of it. So there'll be times where I'll be in the middle of my collection and I have no desire to play a game. I just want to pull boxes out and just admire the artwork on them. So there's so many facets of the collecting aspect that I enjoy doing. So not really one specific thing. I don't have any really deep insight as to why I collect, other than just I enjoy it. I enjoy sharing that with people that I care about. I seriously enjoy it with my girlfriend, and it's something that we really enjoy doing together. So, Matt, ChillScissors, I hope that answers your question. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And so if you guys did enjoy this video, I will probably be putting out another video in a day or two. I will not be on my regular schedule this week because the next video I'm going to do is something also a little bit different. But you'll have to come back to see what that is sometime either tomorrow or the following day. And then of course I'll have either a pickups video or a collection video on Friday. But again, guys, please go check out Matt. His channel's name is ChillScissors. Fantastic content. This guy is like the king of Xbox stuff and statues. He's got some awesome statues, kiosks, fantastic content. So go check out ChillScissors. And again, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and take care and keep gaming.